It is a pleasure to be here today. I thank you so much for your time. As we as Americans have seen in newspapers and TV, Congress is currently grappling with the challenges of our time. We have skyrocketing healthcare costs, unaffordable prescription drugs, a changing climate, a digital divide, continued gun violence, and a younger generation faced with earning less than their parents. And Congress cannot meaningfully address the nation's significant challenges without first recognizing and acknowledging the undue influence of special interests in our politics, working to root out corruption at all levels, and working to restore the commitment and the belief that the American people have in those whom they elected to serve. This week, Congress is focused on ensuring that we are serving the public interest. And while scholars and pundits may debate the precise meaning of the term public interest, I can tell you what public interest is not. It is not voting to give pharmaceutical companies billions of dollars in tax breaks while thousands of Central Virginians struggle to pay for their overpriced prescription drugs. The public interest is not politicians choosing between which big donor receptions to attend while their neighbors back home are choosing between food and shelter or medicine. The public interest is not a constituent watching their former member of Congress leave Capitol Hill to then immediately take a good job on Wall Street or on K Street to lobby against the interests of the very people they once served. And the public interest is certainly not trying to rip away health care coverage for millions of Americans, including thousands of Central Virginians with pre-existing conditions. In 2017, I watched repeated attempts to repeal the Affordable Care Act as those with pre-existing conditions worried what it would mean for them, as parents whose babies had been born premature worried what it would mean for their children if lifetime caps were restored, and as self-employed entrepreneurs worried what it would mean for their businesses if they lost access to affordable, life-saving coverage. They watched their futures grow uncertain simply because their leaders had chosen to side with the privileged business interests and the individuals driving rhetoric rather than listening to the people they were entrusted to serve. And what's more, across the campaign trail, I heard from voters like Jason. I heard from voters that they didn't believe we could fix it. They didn't believe that their elected officials would work to address the problems facing our country because they felt that too many outside influences were driving the conversation. And I chose to run for Congress because I believe that every American should have faith that their elected leaders are working to fight for them. And I have seen enough of Congress refusing to repair our broken democracy, and I have seen too many people just express a concern that we're not going to fix problems. So in November 2018, the American people put their trust in a new generation of lawmakers to tackle our nation's problems, and we need to demonstrate to them that we are doing it with a renewed commitment to integrity and transparency so that they know that we are working to serve them. In November, the people of Central Virginia gave me a clear mandate: clean up corruption in Washington, and I'm proud to support H.R. 1 because it delivers on that promise. Our legislation would help limit the influence of special interests in our politics, stop big contributors from hiding their political spending, keep foreign dollars out of our elections, and strengthen oversight of our campaign finance laws. These are all steps we can take that will help voters across this country believe that we are working in their interests. It empowers citizens. This bill allows us to take back control of our government, to listen to the voices of those we represent, and it lays the groundwork for an agenda focused on building stronger levels of participation across our democracy. In Virginia and across the country, voting needs to be fair and free and not a burden on our citizens. And this bill takes appropriate steps to strengthen voting rights and takes aim at discriminatory barriers. This package of reforms brings something to the table that we need more of in Congress: a hopeful message, a unified message, and a fundamentally American message of common sense and good governance. And we're at a time when we're seeing rampant division within our country, and I hope that this legislation will take one step forward in restoring our commitment to serve the public interest, not special interests, and will help affirm to the American people that we are here working on exactly what they sent us here to work on, which is on their behalf. I look forward to voting in support of this bill and in support of the public interest. Thank you.